running through their minds.
So from there, can
And in fact, sometimes, and one of those weddings I emceed, you see that one of them in reciting those vows, you could see some hesitation. In fact, whether it's real or not, I read their faces.
I don't believe in hesitation.
I read their faces and I'm like, at the point you feel somebody will want to say, that's
your mind.
But they go ahead anyway.
It could be that you're reading it wrongly, though.
Yeah, they go ahead anyway. And then they symbolize that with rings, affirming their love for each other, for better, for worse, blah, blah.
To be devoted, to be committed, to be faithful,
and blah.
Yeah.
The test of whether somebody will go through all that and be able to stand by you is not in the symbolism of a ring. In fact, the ring itself is a piece of metal, a jewel.
So again, to you, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. So to you again, like James said, it's an ordinary jewelry, just like any other jewelry.
It's a piece of metal.
But this
was
made
of gold or made of silver.
This is giving under different.
If you will let me land, so it is giving, and then you have affirmed your love and everything. Mistakenly, the women think that the wedding ring, as it is the antidote to infidelity. No, I beg to differ.
But Erastus, to be sincere,
for somebody to be to hold certain principles and be able to stand by them, it stands in that person's conscience.
Indeed, I agree. But conscience, as we have it, Erastus, there are times when we need to have reminders of it, something that can make you know that, well, I made this pledge or this promise. Now, if the ring is on your finger, are you not prompted, are you not reminded along the line, even if you want to do something wrong, that when the boss was a kai, I do it should trigger your mind.
There are many men I've seen who wear their wedding rings and have sex. To that extent, they wear their wedding rings and they have sex. They wear their wedding ring and they sit in a car proposing to a lady.
And there are some who will remove it, and still have the sex with other people or propose to other people.
But me, in particular, for instance, I cannot wear a wedding ring. In fact, I will say it anyway, because myself, have you ever seen me wearing a chain or something before?
No, even a watch. You wear it for 2 days and you take it off.
I get reactions with metals and stuff, so I hate wearing things. Even
we'll give you a plastic one.
Even with wristwatches, I wear them for a moment and I want to remove them, put them somewhere. So I'm imagining wearing a ring for the rest of my life. It will not be possible. But I am saying that the test of whether somebody will stay faithful or not, or whether somebody will abide by certain principles and be able to stay chaste in love, it doesn't lie in a wedding ring. And so I'm not surprised that people are abusing that. But if I'm able to wear the wedding ring, then it should put some fear in me, remind me of certain vows.
Thank you very much. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes, if so I'm saying the other way around. Now I've gone with the side where I believe I trust James with. But now I'm saying that if I'm able to wear that ring, then it should serve as a reminder, a great reminder. It should be something that when the moment I see it, it should prick my conscience back to the road and tell me that, yes, you have something at stake. You can go to a certain level, but here is the limit. You can't go beyond that. But as to whether the human mind at that particular time and the feelings, the erotic feelings you are feeling, whatever is driving you to that situation where you are proposing to a lady, knowing very well you are married, whether that will prevent you is another matter. And there are some who, when they see the ring, occasionally when they are about to propose or something, some even cover with the rings with their handkerchief.
Or put the left hand in the pocket. Put the left hand in the pocket.
Just the left hand
so that you don't get to see the finger.
And even at times when they meet a lady they want to propose to, quickly you see them removing the ring and then they put it in their pocket and they rub some oil around the edge, trying to squeeze and with a mark they keep it in their pocket and all that. You see, it tells you that person has made up his mind to do something, and not even the ring will prevent him from doing it. he will go ahead and do it. And afterwards, whatever guilty conscience he's feeling, it's not because of the ring. It's because of whatever vows he has exchanged and whether he has some little dignity in him left.
So tell me this before I go back to James. Tell me, why do you think people don't respect the ring the way we ought to respect it?
Because it's a piece of metal. It's a piece of metal.
I don't see this. It's just a piece of metal.
If it means something to you, like the Bible means something, many things to other people. To others, the Bible doesn't mean anything. To the atheist, it doesn't mean anything to him. But to people who see the ring and they remember that about 5 or 6 pastors came together, prayed on that ring, and whilst they were putting it on, they were exchanging vows. And whether they believed those vows were sacred enough, it stands for something. Then they will be scared. In fact, they will be really, really scared. Whenever they get reminded by the ring, they see that, no, where I'm treading, I should think again. I should come back.
But James, for those who would even remove the ring and go ahead and propose or have sex outside their marriage, it is all cheating, isn't it? So removing the ring doesn't make it less of a crime or a sin?
Dave, I don't know what's wrong with those people. We are made to believe that God is everywhere, yet people sin. So what tells you that by removing the ring does not make your act sinful, does not make your act cheating? Wear it and cheat, because you have cheated anyway.
Wear it and cheat?
Yes. To me, it doesn't make any difference. Whether you wear it or you remove it, you are cheating.
But who says they are removing the ring because...
well, remove it out of respect for their spouse.
Many of them
remove it because they know the person they are with
will not work.
No, because the person they are with
proposing to a lady and there is a ring there.
It will not work. Otherwise, because you were okay. Supposing you were wearing the ring when you proposed to the lady, is it not cheating? You propose wearing the ring. Why are you, if you are getting the ultimate that you think you are not treating your wife fairly, or you are disrespecting your wife? You disrespected your wife the moment you wore that ring and proposed to the lady.
Well, don't look at it from the men's perspective alone, because married women also these days wear their rings and do their own stuff.
Yes.
Remove the ring anyway and do what they want to do.
The reverse is the case for the women. They wear it and do whatever they want to do, because some choristers, they robe and do certain things. Pastors, fathers, in their cassock, in their clerical collar, they do whatever they want to do.
But that's why I agree with Erasmus when he says that it's supposed to be as a checker. It's supposed to check us. So even when you want to do something wrong with the opposite sex and you know you're married, when you bosswa, it's a kasachel.
Dave
said, like one of you said, several pastors came together, prayed about over the ring, gave it to you, you gave it to the person, and then you pledged, you promised that you'll be, committed, you'll be devoted, you'll be this, you'll be that, and it's the sign of your undying love.
Dave, we have made so many commitments, so many pledges to God, we break them. How much more a ring, a pledge made to man?
Yes.
And also, you see, after wearing the ring for some time, you don't remember you are wearing ring. You become part and parcel of you.
No.
It's true, Dave.
For this, I will not ask
Dave,
you
it's true.
a question.
Dave, it's true.
You
wear it.
James,
you
worn my ring.
Forget you are wearing a ring?
Yes. How possible? Yet, unconsciously, you will not.
James,
you will not. It is you. You, Erastus, who sees I'm wearing ring. To me, it has now become part of my fingers. So I don't consciously remember I'm wearing ring. That is why I said from the beginning that the principle of keeping my marriage intact should be at the center
of your mind.
Yes,
I agree.
But
the mind sometimes plays tricks, and so therefore you need something. No, James, you need something that would prompt you along the line that I do. So out of respect for the ring that I have for whoever gave it to me, I'll do the right things. But again, I'm told, Erastus, that
let me say this before you go to Erastus. You said the mind sometimes plays tricks.
You know, there are times when you have a bad habit. Let me explain further to you. There are times you have a bad habit, and you try to do away with that very bad habit of yours. And try as you may by yourself, you're not able to really do it. So you look for somebody whom you think you feel shy of and have high regard or respect for. Somebody who can check you. So in case you feel like doing that very thing, the person who is, the person is around, will tell you, James, I do also pursue you. And also me more the person is checking you. In that same regard, that's the essence of the ring. Even when you want to do something untoward or something sinful or wrong, it should tell you that based on what you have on that finger of yours, out of respect, love, and all, do the right thing, James.
Dave, the mind, that is the hand, the eye, my whole conscious being is controlled by the mind. So if the mind cannot be self-conscious, do you think that same mind can remind me that I have some finger wearing some ring?
When you boss a reminder for you.
My in the control many at that moment my eye is not on the ring.
I hear you. But one thing that I have also heard is that some ladies are of the opinion or the view that once you have a ring on your finger, then it means you're responsible. Have you heard that statement?
Yeah, I've heard that statement.
You agree with them? That the fact that you're married or you have a ring on your finger, then you're responsible? Because my mind is that if you are responsible, you not even cheat with that person who's coming up your way who sees you to be responsible.
Well, you see, many people go into marriage for several reasons. There are people who wouldn't have gotten married if society had not pressured them into getting married, or they feel they were getting old and they needed to get married and have children, and so that's why they are married, and so really do not understand what marriage stands for. And the Bible says that you shall not commit adultery, and it comes with a more graver. It says, he who commits adultery is devoid of sense. Only one who will destroy himself does such a thing. He will meet with disease and disgrace, and his reproach will never be expunged. It's Proverbs 6:32. Pardon me for getting religious today.
It's all part of the conversation. Why should you be
No, I want to be as religious on this subject.
No, don't be religious. If it will help the conversation, please bring it on board.
I always say that it depends on how you're trained, how you yourself have trained yourself. If what the Bible says about pummeling your body members, and here he's talking about controlling your body members. Some men have succeeded in doing that. I know of some men who have done that. In fact, they've done that all their lives.
Done what exactly?
Control their body members.
Okay.
It's not like, so when people say that I don't expect my husband to look at another lady or feel any feelings for another lady,
that is
you're
impossible.
Deceiving yourself.
No, it's not possible.
Yeah, you're deceiving yourself.
I know my wife is listening, and I'm saying it again. It's not possible.
Every man born of a woman sees another lady. They know what is beautiful. They know what is enticing. Yeah. They see all those beautiful things.
Women see it too.
But they pretend women not to be seen.
Let me talk about men at least.
You're a man, so
I mean that we have experience.
Yeah. And you see, people see all these things. Men see all these things, and they are moved by it. Every man. But there are grades we control ourselves. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's never easy. So if your husband is controlling himself in this era of nakedness and nudity, then you should forever congratulate him. He's doing very well, because it's not an easy
thing. Yeah.
Yes. So I say that the power to control oneself and be able to stay faithful to one partner doesn't lie in a piece of metal. It lies within. It's inbuilt.
Does that piece of metal play any role whatsoever?
So let me land. It did not start today. That control that your man has did not start today. He started nurturing it way back during his childhood. Okay? And the kind of upbringing that he went through, what kind of things he's fed his mind with. So he's able. There are other controlling measures. There are certain things in every person's life. Maybe that person cannot propose to a woman, or he's shy of a woman, or so those things, and so it keeps him away from women and all that. A lot of things. But I'm telling you, that ring may be is just an ornament, a symbol of your union when you are exchanging vows and all that, and it's supposed to remind you constantly.
It's supposed to. I'm happy.
You are married and you are doing this, but the actual control of oneself towards these things lies within you. It's a process.
Let me ask this question. So let's say you're married, you buy this beautiful, expensive ring for your wife.
And I don't believe in buying expensive rings.
Well, forget about it. I'm just asking a question. And then you give it to her.
Yeah.
And on the day of the marriage, she puts it on. After she doesn't wear it, continuously. Not because she reacts to any metal, but she doesn't wear it. But, would you be bothered?
No, I won't be bothered. There must be a reason for it. There must be a reason for anything. And in fact, I will seek to know.
So if one of the reasons is that, Charlie, okay, maybe she's a businesswoman and she tells you that, Charlie, make a business, not to make kawana. I'm off for contracting, I'm business.
Yeah.
Until me ring, who's okay, yes, me worry. So without the ring, I get contracts and businesses and all that. Would you be bothered?
It sounds reasonable. And if I trust her,
it sounds reasonable if you trust her.
If I trust her, because my relationship, for example, is not built on some of these things, like chasing the girl around and trying to find out what she does and what's on her phone and all that. No, I don't do those things. I used to do them. I realized that it was not getting anywhere. In fact, I constantly checked her phone, and I saw ghosts, and then we'll fight, and then we'll break up, and that is it, and it doesn't solve any problem. I believe in this. If you love the person and you trust her, then continue to trust her and try to sort of imbibe in her your dreams for her, your aspirations and all that. If she buys into it and she wants to follow you, fair enough. Then trust in that and continue to be with her. If she says that this is the reason why I'm not wearing my ring, I will take it as it is on face value. Until I have any other reason, strong reason backed with evidence to suggest otherwise, I'll keep it as it is and respect her views. After all, it's a piece of metal, I'm telling you. It's a piece of metal. And the actual control does not lie in that piece of metal. And by the dint of test of time, I think we have been able to establish that many men who cheat, many married men who cheat, are not really bothered by the ring.
The ring. Well, because your conscience, I see it. I mean, that's what it is. But one question that I asked you, Erastus, that I'm still looking for an answer to is this. Do you think that a ring on the finger should it play any role whatsoever in checking us by way of doing right, being faithful?
It is. That, like I told you,
it should play some role.
Yes, it's supposed to be a guiding emblem.
But unfortunately, it is not.
Yes, something that you, when you're going to the extreme, and like James said, you have strayed into wrong territory unconsciously. It should prick your conscience and bring you back on track and tell you that, hey, you are married. But unfortunately, I have seen many men who keep covering their ring with handkerchiefs and ornaments. They remove their ring quickly. Sometimes I just laugh.
You laugh
because we are in the company of other girls, and before we start the conversation,
before we gather, people have their rings on.
Yeah.
Along the way, somebody joins the table, you see people, and the rings are off.
Some of them removing their rings and quickly putting it in their pocket. And I'm like, who are you deceiving?
Which one would you laugh at more? In terms of the school of thought that says that, well, there's a little bit of respect when you want to be unfaithful and you remove the ring.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
In fact, before we came into the studio, I was having this conversation with you. In fact, if I were to cheat,
and you have a ring on, would you keep it or remove it?
I'll remove it for the love of God, please.
You remove it.
You wear a wedding ring, the ring that you wore. You remember at the wedding when several pastors prayed on those two rings, and then you stood facing each other, and then you held those rings, and whilst you were exchanging vows, and if those vows mean anything to you, whilst you were reading those vows and standing in front of God and country and vowing that you will forever stay just, faithful, and all that, and then you whilst you're doing that, you were slowly putting on that ring, or she was slowly pulling that ring on your finger, and you remember all that, and you are able to
keep the ring on and do all that,
and with the ring on, and be able to do sexual acts you're okay with it, then I think you have strayed, your conscience has strayed overboard to the extent that
you're going to leave your conscience is going to leave your state.
You have changed from a logically reasoning human being to something else.
But Erastus, if I may ask you, who said the vows? Is it you or the ring?
You.
So if the one who said the vows sees nothing wrong with the act, what role does the ring play?
That's what I'm
saying. It doesn't play any role. It is you, Erastus, who was prayed for by the 5 pastors, and you see nothing wrong.
Why do you buy the ring?
Why do he has worn it for 17 years?
Why do you buy the ring?
Erastus, he has worn it for 17 years.
Yeah. Why
he's still wearing it.
You should have
you are still wearing it.
You have as well gone to the wedding with no rings.
That is why
expensive. Why do you then buy
that is why I'm saying that the ring to me does not play any role as far as infidelity is concerned. If I want to remain faithful,
I have said that time and time again.
But you said that if you believe in the love and in the marriage, the ring should be a reminder.
No, the belief in the relationship itself should be the best check. Not the ring.
I'm not saying
the ring can get lost.
I am not saying
I can be involved in an accident and lose that finger. Does it mean I'm still not married? I am married,
James.
But until you lose that finger.
What I'm saying is not that the ring is serving as a check on you. What I'm saying is that
is it the pastors?
That ring.
Is it the pastor? What about God?
That ring.
The God who created you and told you not to sin. You sin.
That ring symbolizes the vows you guys exchanged. If those vows mean anything to you, then I'm saying that even if you are weak in the mind, when you're wearing that
remove it.
Remove it.
But what about you remove it and you want to have sex?
You lose it.
What about when you lose it? What do you tell your partner?
You've lost it.
And what do you tell your partner? What do you tell your partner?
But if I lose it, after all, what sin?
No, you lost it.
Genuinely, it has been. It's lost.
What are you doing?
You say you removed it to go do some sexual acts. Then in the process,
I said that definitely somebody in where the guy do what any toss me and what could chantro. How could chantro? Yeah, you feel another way back.
It becomes 2 double. Why don't you sin once and be free?
By doing what?
By removing it, you are deceiving the lady, which is a sin. And you are deceiving yourself, it's a sin. Then committing the act, which is sin. So within that instant, you have committed 3 sins. Why do you want to commit 3 sins?
But James, let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
What is the definition of the wedding ring? What is the significance of the wedding ring? What is it?
To me.
No, not to you. What it is.
I don't know.
But Erasmus just spells it out to all of us.
Because I don't believe in it.
But that is what it signifies. That is how it is defined. You ask me. Hold on.
Yes,
as an undying love, as being devoted to the person who gave you the ring, or the person whose behalf you're wearing the ring, as a sign of commitment and your faithfulness. That is what the ring is supposed to signify or supposed to mean.
Dave, do you know that same marriage could be ended?
Oh, it could. So if but until it is ended, or until it ends, that is what the ring should mean to you. Your undying love, your devotion, your commitment, your faithfulness.
What is the last phrase or the last sentence in the vows? What is the last sentence?
You tell me. What is it? For better, for worse? Or which one?
Until death
do us part.
Yes. And you are not dead. And you are parting. You are not afraid of that one.
For this one, I don't want us to agree with him on this one when I talk.
You are not afraid of that one.
Things can happen. No. Things can happen, and then you can.
And these are one of the things.
No, but that's why you're still in the relationship. You're still in the relationship, and then you remove it or you put it on. You're going to do whatever.
David,
you are defying the purpose of having that thing on your finger.
David, if I have no conscience to defile my body,
it's just like
my whole being, I'm defiling it.
If James, you allow me, it's just like saying that people steal, people rob, people have found have made it their duty to go with arms and other things to go robbing people. But why do we get so surprised and say, these are daredevils when people go rob a church?
Because of the reverence of the church, the place.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So your whole body, your whole being is not reverence.
The same applies to the ring. though you are fornicating, you are
a ring that was made by a human being.
Committing adultery.
Who was made by God?
It's a sin.
The ring that was made by human beings, but it's saying a ring too that has been prayed over. A ring that before God you made a vow to and put on somebody's finger.
And you made it a symbol of
your life. You that God created Himself.
Well, listen, you can join our conversation.
That's what I'm saying. That
give us
God has sin, created you sin, but then created you are do the honor and respect the love of God
and remove the ring.
All that be that. All sin the sin. Whether you remove or you wear it.
Well, listen, you can give us a call now on 03220-83596. Across the panel table, both panels are saying that to them the ring is an ordinary ring.
It's like a piece of metal,
like Erastus will say. Do you agree that a ring that we place on our finger, the wedding ring that we have vowed and place the vows on and we put on, is a piece of metal? Do you agree? Or you think that it is more than just a piece of metal? It is more than just an ordinary, jewelry? Hello, good afternoon.
It's a piece of metal and nothing else. David, this is Kofi Bajumba. David, let any pastor comes out, quote from the Bible, where Jesus or God said 5, 10, 6, or one pastor should pray over a ring and then give it to a couple. Where in the Bible? Is it a commandment? It is not biblical. Look, if you come to Asante custom, David, it is only the women who are supposed to wear rings because the man has the right to marry as many as he can. And so men are not supposed to wear rings. If man is to marry 4 or 5 women and he's supposed to wear rings, so he's going to wear 5, 6 rings.
Well, that would not be a wedding, and the emphasis has been on the wedding.
Wedding? What is wedding? What is wedding? You see, our Ashanti custom is also known as wedding. Who worry?
Matthias.
Who worry will be our wedding. Wedding.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And Happy New Year to you, Nanefa.
You too, dear. Yeah, the temple of rain. Media, it's something. You could see men removing their rings and all those things. And I don't know, the men will tell you, women, ring in the sofa. And you could see me wearing 2 rings and still you'll be proposing. So, I mean, I don't see any reason whether you wear it or remove it. It's cheating.
So to you,
because
Nanefa, is it a piece of metal to you? Is it a piece of metal, just a piece of ordinary metal to you?
Oh yes.
It is.
Yes.
Kalusha.
David, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. Welcome. Let's hear you.
David, I also hold that view, just a piece of metal and nothing else. What is its significance? David, the ring itself, I just don't know where in the Bible. I mean, what does it mean? It's nothing. Some of us will wear a ring before you even get married. And I tell you what, David, if somebody wants to cheat, whether with the ring or no ring, maybe his happy partner doesn't concern about that. He can cheat with it. So the ring for me, as much as I'm concerned, I mean, it's nothing. It's just, a piece of metal. I mean, a silver, a coin, nothing else.
I hear you. Yet people buy expensive ones and place it on the fingers of their loved ones. Richard Oboku.
Yeah, from Peace and Love Hospital.
Good afternoon, my brother. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon. Dave, I would like to get the last statement that James made, a ring made by human beings. Fine. Now, what about communion? It's not made by human beings. Communion is also made by human beings, but it symbolizes the flesh and blood of Jesus Christ. And so therefore, when people sin, they are not supposed to go and take communion. So why is it that we can't treat rings the same thing as we treat communion? This is a multi-million question.
I hear you, Richard Opoku, Peace and Love Hospital. Thank you very much for your call. Sir Patrick.
Hello, Mr.
Welcome. Let's hear your thoughts on this matter.
Thank you for your show. Even I wouldn't have thought because you've already my point for me. What is the meaning of, or what is the meaning of ring? From Genesis to Revelation, who can quote from the Bible that there is ring in the Bible? That is the reason why we use recently. You can't even marry. Because to buy ring 500 Ghana or more than that, to put it around your finger, just a ring. In fact, we are very contrary to the word of God. When you read 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 28 and 9, it was never written there. We are very contrary to the word of God.
I hear you.
Just understanding between you, the man and the woman. So, the holding this where there was no any ring, where were they using to put it around their neck? That is the reason why recently marriage are breaking down. Go to court and see a lot of marriages
breaking down. Well, I hear you, Sir Patrick. There. Let me speak to Isaac, who is calling us from Ekropong. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, David. Good afternoon.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Sir, this is what I want to say. Richard was saying something that communion was started by Jesus Christ, and therefore when we pray over it, that is okay. The fact that we pray over it does not mean it's okay. You see, Jesus Christ started communion himself. But where in the Bible did Jesus Christ tell someone to wear rings? My mom and dad have married for over 60 years. They never wear the rings, and they are still there. The fact that you are putting a ring on doesn't mean that you are committed to the marriage. What about if the ring gets lost? When Jesus, the Lord created Eve for Adam, there's nowhere in the Bible whereby he told him to put a ring on the finger before they marry. So the fact that you are putting a ring on me does not mean I'm going to be committed to the marriage. It all depends on your mindset that you are walking by. That is all. So I don't think that putting a ring on someone's finger actually have a significance in a marriage that I'm going into. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And that was Isaac who called us from Ekropong. So in all this, if that is the perception and mindset we all have about rings, why are people buying expensive rings? Some with diamond on it. Yeah. Some with this. Why?
They have money.
It's just to show off.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, David.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Sugar Free, David.
Sugar Free, are you married? Do you have your ring on?
No, I'm not married yet.
Will you wear a ring?
I'm not married yet.
Will you wear the ring when you get married?
Yeah, I'll wear a ring.
You wear a ring, all right. So let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Okay, for me, the ring is a symbol, is that okay? It's not just a near ring, is that okay? But it's a compliment thing, is that okay? Between you and what? The woman, is that okay? So the ring is not just another ring that you just put on. If you go and buy a ring, then you just be putting it on. But that one is a covenant one, is that okay? So that's my thought.
He says that is not any ordinary ring. It's a covenant between yourself and the person you're getting married to. You know what? For the past 12 years, New Generation Investment Services Limited, a leading investment firm, has guided thousands of institutions and retail investors to make millions in secure portfolio investments. New Generation Investment Services Limited is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. They offer Treasury Bill Plus fixtures for products like fixed deposits, premium investment, childcare investment, and Diamond Plus investment plans. That's not all. They also manage Tier 2 and Tier 3 pension funds and are also into the management of Unidasu Mutual Fund, the very first collective investment scheme to be established outside Accra. Talk to your seasoned investment advisors for a structured investment portfolio. You can visit them on the first floor, Kokopo Jubilee House, that's in Idun Kumasi, and also on the second floor, Abosumakotre House, that's near Coco House in Sunyani. You can also visit their website on www.ngis-group.com and also call them on 03220-91608 or 0352-197482. New Generation Investment Services Limited, achieving excellent returns on your investment. You know, it's awfully hot these days, and trust me, we sweat because of the nature of the weather these days. And so, for comfort, we need to take the right water. Now, the water you drink says a lot about you, your health, and your image. That's why Belaqua mineral water is ionized with essential minerals that are great for your body. Coming in different sizes from 350 ml for your children, 500 ml for your day's journey, and 750 for maximum refreshment, the purity of Belaqua is unbeatable. Now, if you want to feel classy today, grab a bottle of Belaqua and experience the pure freshness clean, cold Belaqua brings to you. Now, the great news is that Belaqua has just
launched its new depot in Kumasi. So there's no need to travel all the way to Accra to get your supply of your favorite Belacqua mineral water. Distributors should call 0544 335800 or visit the Kumasi depot. It's at Durban, right after Manjaro restaurant. Belacqua, proudly Ghanaian. Right, I'm enjoying your messages on Facebook, and I'll try and read some. We're about Dufia. That's what it says. I'm enjoying the program. Thumbs up to you people. God is everywhere. So says Edu Jemfi R Junior. Kwabla Rose says, I'm enjoying my Monday with you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And he says, you're very right. Now, Cleo S. Brown says, I agree with the Rastos, David. The ring doesn't matter. The commitment is everything. Commitment? Well, I hear you. And then Michael also says the heart matters, not the ring. And so if people are having these thoughts that it is the conscience, it is the heart, it is the that, why are we not? Why are we wearing it? Why are we complying? Is it because we are being asked to by the church? Rastus, what do you think? Can you, Fatam, hazard an answer for me?
Why are we wearing it? I mean, this is the perception we all have. That's the same question I've been asking. That why
is it because the church says we should
much emphasis on it? I think gradually it has become an accepted symbol of union.
But something you don't believe in. You don't believe in it.
Yeah, but we do believe in it. Who says we don't believe in it?
But people say this is not what is making you committed to the relationship.
No, but committed to looking for
be faithful to it and all that.
In that ring, it's not going to happen.
So, but again, one of the things you said, Erastus, is the fact that it should be as a checker.
No, but even
so how do we make the ring useful of the ring?
David, even if you're going into the marriage with the notion that when you go in is an antidote to infidelity, you are deceiving yourself.
Because there are women who, when they argue with their husband, they take off the ring. So it
takes more to hold a marriage together than a piece of metal.
But Erastus, how can we bring out the significance of the ring in our marriage, knowing what it stands for?
Work the basics right, and those of us who are yet to get married, get the basics right. If you think that this person is not the right person, and you always see the signs on the wall, and the difficulty is in telling the person that I see all these things and I don't think we can go on. But I think we must muster the courage and tell them when we think that no, this is not going to work out. Instead of glossing over all that, going ahead and getting married for whatever reason, and then in future you have problems that you cannot solve. I think that is where you should be working it out. Not believing that a simple metal made of gold or silver is going to guard your husband and prevent him from having sex with another lady.
But the girls believe in it, don't they? I mean, girls believe in it, so they want to show it off. They flex their fingers.
They want
it to be expensive.
They want it to be expensive. No, women love jewels. And you see, it's a sign that they are married and they are proud of it. And so I will not be surprised if they are showing it off and all that. In some instances, showing it off with their fingers, making gestures.
Especially the newly wedded ones.
Yes, it's their day, so let them enjoy it.
And for you men who will remove it and put your hands in your pockets and all that,
I would say yes.
Shame on you. Why shame on them? No, they should be brave. They should be
whatever way you have committed the sin.
But I will conclude
and commit it.
I will conclude on this: that listen, the ring that is on your finger has a meaning. It represents something. So for those of you who are married, for whatever reason, make sure that reason will still play in your mind each and every time. If you are tempted to fail or to fall, which of course will happen because temptations abound all the time, let us keep ringing in your mind. When you boss a pet, man, can't stand
the temptation. Wears high heels.
It makes it easier.
Yes. So about easily identifiable.
Delali, how long have you worn your wedding ring for? I have one man for 13. James has worn his for 17 years.
Yeah, it'll probably be 10 years now.
10 years? Yeah. What does it mean to you?
Oh, it means I'm a married man.
Is that no significance? I mean, it should be more than just being a married person to you.
What else do you want it to be to?
Commitment, love.
Yes, I mean, but if you are married, aren't you committed?
Oh, people remove it. Some of you but to know your life.
No.
They don't fucking want it.
I mean, that's not correct.
That's not correct. So between the two, wearing it and doing wrong things and removing it and do the wrong things.
Don't wear it and do wrong things. I mean, if you wear it, be committed to your wife.
Thank you very much. He's got spots. He's coming up our way right here, right now. Love 99.5.
People have this and still go out.
They remove it and they remove it and they put it in the.
They said they don't want to cheat on your wife, so they will just remove it and do that.
Oh my God. I'm very surprised anyway. Well, okay, cool. That's how we started here with the